What is up? What is up, y'all? It is your girl D, and I am back with another video. This is the Wellness Plug, your resource for all things wellness, educational tips, definitely some exploration into different wellness practices, and of course, Healing Out Loud, our series about emotional and spiritual wellness. My name is Dee, if you have not met me, and I am transitioning into developing my own wellness coaching practice. I've spent 8 years in the wellness industry at primarily in body and skincare, but I have delved into every single realm of that one business in regards to wellness, and it involved, anything from scheduling to management to sales to member services. And so I have become incredibly skilled at helping other people manage their wellness. And then ever since I had my baby, I have just had this really soft spot for women in my heart and how we do so much for other people, yet there's so little information about how to take care of us. And so I am here to be a resource for all of you that are looking to take better care of yourselves. Okay, so for today's episode, we are talking about creating personal routines. So this is just for any woman that is trying to do what's important to you, do what also needs to be done, and then incorporate new habits into your lifestyle, or achieving specific goals, and then finding the balance between all of that. I could go on for days about it. I'm going to give you some simple, basic outline steps for how to begin creating a personal routine. So this is not, I want to be very clear, this is not how to schedule your entire life and find balance. That's not what this is. And if you're looking for that, you are not in the right place and you are not in the right mindset. Personal routines develop over time and they adjust to your lifestyle and to what your needs and wants are. And that hopefully changes over time as you grow as a person and as your lifestyle changes, as you create a family, as you take on new job opportunities, so personal routines should not be this finite thing in your head. It should be something malleable, something you can mold and flex and adjust over time, even multiple times in the same year. So how do we do this? You, one, need to be realistic about your current capacity. And this is something that a lot of women are not good at. Two, create systems that make sense, because I have been into YouTube for a minute and I'm constantly listening to different podcasts and different videos about various things that spark my interest. And I noticed that a lot of people, when they talk about time management and routines and being a goal getter and doing all the things, they're really good at talking about systems, but personally, I think there's a very simple, very digestible way to talk about them that's not so overwhelming and doesn't sell you this dream that you can just do it all and not be burnt out. It's like impossible. So create systems that make sense for you. And then being okay with trial and error, because this is something that takes time to figure out. You don't just decide, this is my routine and I'm going to do it and then it works. That's not how this happens. It's like a science experiment. You have to do some trial and error and you have to figure out what works, what doesn't, go with the ebbs and flows of it all. And it's a process. So you need to accept that. And then lastly, be able and be willing and ready to analyze data and troubleshoot around the things. The first thing that you need to do when you're developing a personal routine is to reframe your mindset, because realistic schedules do not start with rigidity. And I think that's where a lot of people fail. They decide they're going to make this super tight wound routine because this is going to go here and this is going to go here. And then we time block out the entire day. And that can work when you already know what you're doing. Like if you've been in a job for a really long time and you understand how your day flows. But when you are in a transitional period in life, for instance, when you have a baby, or when you are trying to develop new habits like a workout routine, that you starting with rigidity only burns you out faster. Cheers. It is the most unrealistic way to create a successful personal routine. Let's redefine the word productivity. Okay, productivity is like, how much can I do? How much did I do today? And we act like a really productive day is getting this really long list of things done. And I just don't think that that's true. I think the most productive days that I have ever had is feeling like I accomplished what needed to get done today, feeling like I accomplished what I wanted to get done today, and I did it without overexerting myself. So if we were going to make this a math problem, it would be your want to list, your have to list, right? That as a ratio to the actual time and capacity that you have in the day. And so like, that's kind of where I developed my rule about the big three. Like I would have 3 major things that should get done today. Should. That way it can be a want or a need. It doesn't really matter. I have to go drop off these forms in the mail. I have to do the dishes. And I have to get my workout done today. I'm going to feel like crap. Okay, that's 3 major things. That's a great way to start as far as productivity goes. If you really need to start in a super beginner way, it's just mapping out your big 3 and deciding what gets done in the morning, what gets done in the afternoon, what gets done at night. It's super easy to do that. But I will say, if you are trying to master your personal routine, you have to get a planner or a bullet journal. You have to have a tool that helps you record and analyze data. And this may seem very anal or OCD or doing too much for some of y'all, and that's fine. And that's why I offered the option of a bullet journal, because if you're not a planner girly, that's fine. But there are some things that you kind of need to document so that you can troubleshoot around the issues later. Let me explain. So a planner is a tool. It's a scheduling tool. Okay, that you do use it to plan, but you also use it to keep track of your data, right? So when I look at my planner, I also, especially when I'm like developing a personal routine, I look back at that week and I go, okay, this was a great day. This one was not a great day. I felt really tired that day, and I had so much energy that day. And that's how I kind of analyze the data. And I say, okay, so what was it about those days that made getting those tasks done? And then we look at the categories, we look at energy level, we look at where I was at in life, like what happened that day. And then I go from there and I say, okay, well, since that worked, let's mimic that and make a system to use in the future. And so a planner is a great tool. Habit trackers. I talked about that. I have a whole episode on habit trackers. If you have not looked at the episode about habit tracking, you need to check it out after you watch this video so you know how to use all your tools. But habit trackers are really great for data collection and accountability, of course. Like that's one of the main reasons that people have habit trackers, is for accountability. But the data of it all is why I love it, because it'll show you examples of like, okay, if I want to, let's say I want to make my lunch or cook at home as much as possible, right? I can see what days. And as I keep going through the weeks, and look at the entire month, I can say, okay, I clearly like to eat out on the weekend, or I clearly like to eat out on Mondays. And you look at that and you go, okay, well, why is that? Why do I tend to do this on this day or on these days? What is the answer behind that data? And then you can decide if a system that creates a different pattern needs to be in place, or if we can use that rhythm to our advantage to plan better for other things. So I personally like to put new habits that I'm trying to develop in a habit tracker, or habits that I know I need to be doing daily to kind of motivate myself to find the time that will be more likely to happen. So I love me a habit tracker. Please go check out my habit tracking video if you are not a habit tracking girl. Don't be scared, okay? Another thing to use is a project planner. A project planner, and I think I described this in literally the last episode. A project planner takes a big, fat, ugly task. It takes something that is multiple steps. It takes a big goal, and it breaks it down for you into sections and action items. It describes your objectives and tells you why you're working towards this goal. It gives you a chance to kind of set deadlines. So completing a goal is really just the result of completing action items. So it helps you break down what steps need to get done. And if you're trying to get this goal achieved by a certain day, it helps you set minor deadlines, and then you therefore work that into your day. Easy peasy. And then lastly, another tool I like to use is time blocking. Time blocking is basically the idea that you will create blocks in your day for a certain amount of time allotted to get things done. And I know that the first time I was introduced to time blocking, it was in regards to people with ADHD, to help them focus on multiple tasks in the day, but not in an overwhelming amount of time, which personally, I think that applies to everybody. So I kind of took upon that system myself. And what I realized is as a stay-at-home mom with a toddler, I cannot time block my entire day out hour for hour. It literally just pisses me off because it doesn't happen. And I'm already the type of person that if it doesn't happen the way that I want it to happen, I get really annoyed. So, so I utilize a very simplified time blocker where my day is broken up into morning, afternoon, and evening. And so morning is like generally the time that I wake up. Let's give it like 7 at the latest to maybe 11 o'clock. That's my morning. And then lunchtime through maybe like 3 o'clock when my husband's on the way home, that's my middle day. And then the end of the evening is the rest of the night, so like 4 to 10 maybe. And that's kind of how I break my day up. And it works really well, because I realize like there's things that I get done before my son takes a nap, there's things that happen when he takes a nap, and there's things that happen when dad gets home. And that's like how my day is marked out. And so if I'm using that system, that's my thought process. I'm sure there's other ways for you guys to translate it personally. So if you're introducing yourself into the idea of having a personal routine, start with a 3-moment time blocker, or even 5 maybe. I don't know, like find a way to break up your day into little amounts based on your already like structured routine. And then you can kind of figure out, okay, which task can go here, which task can go here, which task can go here. So this is the House of Def Big Gear Planner, and I have 2027's edition coming out for pre-sale in November. So stay in tune for that. If you are looking for a super mega everything tool that makes everything breezy, easy, and not overwhelming, and still makes you feel like you have your life together, if you're looking for a planner, I have that tool for you. My planner includes all of these tools inside of it in the weekly and monthly views. And so I'm pretty proud of it, and it helps me organize all of my to-do list, the needs and the wants, my habit tracker, my project planners, and my systems in place. I personally change routines and develop new habits over a period of like quarterly. Sometimes those flow into the next quarter if I feel like I want to keep myself accountable. But I generally adapt new habits at least once every quarter. So I just wanted to show you guys, like in the planner, what all that kind of looks like. So I'm gonna go to a month that hasn't been touched yet. You have a project planner, which, as I said, breaks down your big goals into smaller action items. And this is actually not my current design. I have my newest design of project planner, which is way more organized and way more aesthetically pleasing visually, on my Etsy. I will try to get that link put into the description below for you guys, as well as the video with the habit tracking information. Speaking of habit tracking, but I also have in the weekly view, it is time blocked. So you can see I break up my day, morning, afternoon, evening, and then the habit tracker at the bottom allows me to track 5 habits that I'm trying to work on. So in quarter 1, I was focused on stewardship, my home life, and my spiritual life. And I honestly had just started my workout routine. And since I'm talking about how I developed my personal fitness routine today, I'm going to show you how this evolved. Okay. So the focus was just starting, because I didn't even have a fitness routine at this point that was like consistent. And I said, okay, well, me being the person that I am, I like to start early and try to just see how I can incorporate fitness into my life comfortably. With a toddler, that is super freaking hard, okay? Because he's in the way all the time. He's in my business. And what I had to accept as a mom is that I can't work around this. Like, I can't try to pretend that he's not here at home with me. And I have to be realistic about when I'm going to work out. And so this is the story of how all of this developed. But you can see that the habit tracker kind of tracks like how I was doing with each task over the week. And then as we got into quarter 2, I said, okay, well, now that my stewardship is together, now that my household items were done, we had so many big things to do for the house. Like, we got married. There were a lot of like household organization items, financial things. We had so many adulty, and I called it stewardship because this is, God blessed us with the ability to take care of these things. So I wanted to make sure I paid attention to how much time I devoted to taking care of my home. And so now that that moment has passed and we've got a steady rhythm and we figured out our systems for home, I was like, okay, now I'm ready to be the baddie, the milfy mom that's at the water park in the, appropriate swimsuit, but still looking like a hottie with a body. Okay. So fitness was a huge deal. In April, I made it, one of my goals was to be able to work out 4 times a week. So I'm going to show you that. Okay, so you can see that I clearly got it done. I got it done on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then I was able to get my stuff done. Now, you can also see where I didn't do so great is with Spanish. Later on, I talk about how to troubleshoot the issues of what you don't get done, and all I have to say to that is, yeah, that sucks because I didn't do it. But to be honest, it is quite literally the only one that never gets checked off. So Spanish, I'm like, that might show up in quarter 3's habit tracker, but by then I will realize like, okay, this kept me from doing it. This kept me from doing it. So I know I need a system. I need a better system for getting this done. One thing that's a really big deal about creating your personal routine is remembering your why. Remember why this certain item, this routine is important to you. Remembering why you want to do it in the first place, because it's going to be your biggest motivator when you try to talk yourself out of getting it done. And so for me, like I said, I'm going to use the example of creating my personal fitness routine for this episode. The reasons why I wanted to have a solid, secure fitness routine was Q2 was about looking good and feeling good. We're stepping into summer. I've spent the last 3 years either pregnant or postpartum. And while I am pretty much a mastermind at shape shifting and understanding that my body goes through changes, and I'm really nice to myself most of the time, and I try to exude confidence at every size possible, I know what my best body looks like, and I knew that I was capable of achieving it this year. And so for me, it was about buying new clothes and feeling good in them. It was about being milfy. It was about going to the pool and not feeling no type of way. It was about feeling strong and capable as a mom. You know, the moms that have to carry the grocery bags in and they only try to make one trip. Like, hello. For me, it's more like being able to hold my son for long periods of time when we're waiting in line at the zoo or whatever specifically, it was about being able to have sex in better positions. It was about all of these things, my self-esteem, my physical capacity, my mental health and bodily function. All of that were like the main reasons why I wanted to develop a strong fitness routine. And so everything from there helped flow. So then I'm like, okay, well, first let's start with our physical space, our environment, the where, the who, okay, because that's part of your environment too. The where, the who, and then you develop the system, and that's the how. Notice I didn't say when, because when comes last, okay? Comes last. So if I look at my physical space, I have to figure out what parts of my space and who would be a distraction or a deterrent. And so here's my list. I wrote it down. It's sweets, social events and holidays, my kid, my husband, and my period. Okay. As a woman, I know some of y'all can relate to this. So all of these, when I literally get down to going down the list, they actually end up being these valid, but still excuses. And when we figure out what lies behind the why of that list, then it can help us figure out how rigid of a system do I need to make when I think about this, right? And so quick resolutions that I came up with. Number one, these are easy. You can develop this system easily before you even start doing anything, right? I don't keep sweets in my house. There are no sweets in here, because if they're here, I will eat them. I'll be like, oh, I don't want it to go to waste. Oh, look at that cookie. It looks so good. I can do a cookie. And then it's five. It's five little Chips Ahoy cookies, or five little those shortbread fudge rounds. Oh my gosh. I also decided to map out and book social events in a month out, because one, for my social capacity, but two, because depending on who we're going out with or what type of event it is, if there's a lot of birthdays in 1 week, I'm eating a lot of birthday cake. So I'm mentally prepared for that when it comes to, okay, well then make sure you're drinking your water and working out, girl. And then or if it's with a group of friends that normally like to drink a lot, I'm going to be mentally prepared for that as well. But it's already in my calendar at that point, and then I can map out my last minute capacities, those people that be like, oh girl, don't you want to go get brunch? And I'd be like, I got this going on, probably not a good month, let's try again next month. But it helps you with last minute capacity and setting boundaries appropriately when you create a system like that. Working out with the kid was clearly my solution. And yes, is it annoying? Yes, it is. Can I get over it? Yes. It also trumps feeling like crap because I didn't get my workout done. And why? Because my circumstances weren't perfect. I'm a mom. Get over it, right? That's just our life. So, if my kid gets in the way, it's okay, I have to work around that. And then it makes me feel so much better when I do get it done, because then it's like, and I still got it done. Okay. I also know that I can't work out when my husband is home, because I don't want to do nothing when he's home. He's gone so early in the morning and he works a full-time job. And so when he's home, I really just want to cuddle. I just want to cuddle and like eat good food and laugh and hang out. And like everything that we do as a couple is just not conducive to my workout, and he's distracting. We do take walks on the weekends when he's home and when it's nice outside, but that itself, just even how I said that, did you hear that? It's very fluid. It's very dependent on the mood. It's very blah. So working out for my personal fitness routine, it does not include my husband. It's a bonus if he's there. I also keep track of my menstrual cycle. I will probably do a video on this later about the menstrual cycle phases and scheduling your month around it. But I have started to do that. I haven't gone cray-cray. I'm not doing all 4 phases because it's just a lot for me to think about all at once. But I do track ovulation, and I track my luteal phase, which is your PMSing. I know that it's ovulation week. Things are going to look differently than when they do when I'm PMSing. Again, I'll come back to it. But then also physically, look at your environment and see what spaces you've created to do certain things. Because if your house has a big old TV and a big old couch but nowhere to work out, then you're probably not going to work out. You're probably going to be watching back-to-back Netflix series, binge watching. Like that you have spaces created for these things that make you want to get them done, and make sure you have tools that work or that inspire you to keep doing them. So if you have a really crappy treadmill, you're probably not going to want to walk the treadmill at your home. And if that's something will help you work out or get your goals achieved, invest in a treadmill. So for me, I have a fitness space in our basement, which you guys have seen in my workout videos, but it's literally got weights. It's got a yoga mat, a yoga ball, different kinds of weights too. I got like dumbbells, I got barbell, I got, kettlebell, I have resistance bands, I have, a walking pad. So like, it's got all this stuff, all of these tools. I've got motivational quotes and muscle charts and things on the wall. Even like the walking pad space has a shelf for my iPad to sit up if I want to watch something while I walk. It's designed aesthetically pleasing. It looks like a fitness space, so it inspires me to work out. Now, mind y'all, I do not like working out inside. When I can't get out in fresh air and I know I need to weight lift, I go downstairs. Plus, my kid can run around down there. He can watch TV, he can play with his toys, and I can still get my workout done. So it was one of those spaces that was created for success. My juicing station. Juicing also became part of this fitness routine, right? So I have an entire station, a system in the fridge, all of that. I have the tools. I have a nice juicer. I have a blender with different attachments. There's strainers, there's thermoses, there's these cute little storage jars. Like, juicing gets done because it's fun to get done. Make sure that if something is important to you, you create the space for it. That also means with people. So remember I talked about my social capacity as well. I had to be honest with myself and say, as much as I love FaceTiming my cousin or my aunts while I'm chilling during the day or while I'm going about my day, it is not productive for me to work and lock in on the things I need to lock in on when I'm talking to them. It's just not. So when I had trouble setting the boundary myself, I would set my phone on do not disturb during those times. And then I found that it's a lot easier for me to get stuff I don't feel like getting done, like dishes and laundry. It's not even getting the laundry done, it's folding the laundry. But those are things that I like to talk to people on FaceTime while I do them, because sometimes I really don't even feel like doing it. And it distracts me from the gruesomeness of the task. So it's being honest about your social capacity and the ability to get things done and what actually inspires the best performance. Do you need to be social or not? And if you know that people are going to want to do things that deter you from your goal, you have to be honest with yourself and you have to be willing to set boundaries. So when people complain about not hanging out, or when people say they miss me, I offer the flexibility for them to join me on a workout or come to church with us and we'll have family dinner at our house. I offer to do a little bit of camaraderie when it comes to things, but I also say, like, this is what I'm willing to do. If you want to join me with that, cool. If not, because it's very easy for people to invite you out to go get drinks. It's very easy for people to say, let's go eat. And sometimes that's not conducive with your goals. And I know for a fact that that's not conducive with my fitness goals. So let's go work out together, or let's go get smoothies. I would even say, let's go do Pilates and matcha. But you get where I'm going with this, right? Okay. Your environment matters. Are there days of the week that phone calls and errands should get done because you know that those are the days that this and this and this and XYZ? Are there times of the month that are higher stress level or volume than others, like how I just described with my period? Which days are you actually getting stuff done? Are there more productive days than others? Be realistic about your current time schedules and your current capacity, and then you can always plan to make adjustments later. You also have to look at your energy levels. So I know that some people are morning people, some people are night people. Some people have a burst of energy throughout each moment of the day. So in the burst of energy moment of the morning, the burst of energy moment of the afternoon, and the one in the evening, what are the things that I'm gonna bust out when I got energy? What are the things that I can do when I have lower energy? So an example for me would be knowing I can get my workout done in the morning, when we know that it ain't happening past 10, sis. It ain't and I can prove that because my habit tracker showed me that the days that I did not get my workout done before 10, they did not happen. So that was something I realized. I was I have the energy and the willpower and the I'm ready to go. I have the attitude to do it in the morning. Even on my worst day, I still can get it done in the morning. It also creates the best time frame. Like when I'm with my son, it's very easy to want to wear him out for his nap. So we do it right before nap time because now it's getting warmer. And so I've incorporated a park visit to do my workout. I take my walk. I've even done outside workouts in the grass, and he's running around with his ball. Maybe on a lower time of the day, low energy one, I can get on FaceTime and fold the laundry. That's an example of getting something I want to do and something I have to do done, and being honest about my energy level when I do it. One of my pro tips is planning 3 days at a time. So on Monday in the morning, I'll say, okay, Monday is this. I'm going to get that done. So I'll do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday based on the weather forecast, based on what, maybe it's what I'm cooking for dinner, what to-do tasks need to get done. You get the idea, right? But it also helps you not plan too far ahead. And that way, if your mood changes or if something last minute pops up, you're able to just kind of pivot. So we be feeling like that we really on top of our stuff, and we be feeling like that girl when we get everything done and we're super bad and we're we just got all the things. We just so productive that day. And then we be like, okay, it's a bad day. I'm not productive. And that whole little idea, that system that we used before, just it goes down the drain. And then we end up feeling bad. And so when you're creating systems, you have to think about what your system looks like on a high capacity day and a low capacity day. And then your basic system structure should be planned around the low capacity day. So let's just say, like, my goal was to work out 4 times a week, right? When I'm PMSing, that's my lower end capacity, right? Like, I also notice, like, I do these really awesome workouts when I'm ovulating. So my system for fitness is also dependent upon where I'm at in my cycle. Once I realized that there was my fitness level was also very dependent on my menstrual cycle, it made me able to make a more rigid system where I needed it. I'm PMSing. I don't feel like working out. I'm bloated. I feel like crap. Sometimes I'm super emotional and like just kind of really down. And so I realized, like, I don't want PMS to be the reason that I don't get my workout done, bro. That's not even fair. So I created a system for my fitness when I PMS, and that is when I'm angry, I do a very weight lifting heavy, like very much so in the fitness center weights and calisthenics, or I run my mile. If I know I want to take, if my son is getting on my last nerves and we have to go to the park, I run the mile with my stroller. Like, I'll jog and I will just like exhaust myself so that the feelings can't even take over. If I'm sad or moody, right, I do a prayer walk. So I will just walk and talk to God, like the same way that you could be on the phone and talk and walk a lot further. I will just sit there and go, and I will pray my little tail off, and ask God to remove these feelings from me, or explain to him why I'm feeling that way and what I need him to take over. And then when I'm cramping and I just want to ball up and die, that's typically like a stroll or a just get the walk done, girl. So I'll take a little walkie walk. I might even get on the phone on that one, and it'll distract me from my pain. And then I make sure I stretch for a good solid 20 to 30 minutes with some good music in quiet, where I'm able to just really focus on making myself feel better. And so having that system, I get my walk in. That's still a workout. It makes me feel good, and it allows me to show up for myself, which makes me emotionally feel accomplished, because it wasn't just me doing what I had to do, or like, oh, I still did it. It's also like, yeah, and I'm glad I freaking did, you know? This is another pro tip. It's a really good idea to schedule like data review check-ins with yourself, like I've done with my habit tracker, and say like, okay, at the end of each week, look at, all right, I worked out on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. How did I get a workout in on a Saturday? Okay, I remember my week got busy and I said, babe, I need to get my last workout in. Let's go to the park. And that happened. So that was good. So that means if I get my workout done majority during the week, it makes it easier to knock out that task. Okay, cool. But like it helps you just review like your emotions that you had during the day. Was it the weather? Was it other people cutting in on your time with and not setting boundaries? Like, it helps you really get to the why something did not get done that you had to do, or that you really wanted to do, right? Like, what's keeping you from getting things done? You could also use a highlighter system. So use one color for good and one color for bad. And you could look through your week and say, okay, that task got accomplished easily. So that was a good system. What system did I use there? And this stuff was really hard to complete. And you can kind of use that to decide what needs more rigidity and what's actually working and that needs to like keep flowing. Another thing I noticed by doing that is that juicing became extremely overwhelming on days that I would cook, which is like 75% of the week, right? So the idea was that I would juice and make some bulk amounts to last me like maybe 3 to 4 workouts. And then I could just juice once or twice a week. So I decided that would help if I created a weekly menu, which this was also a system I created in quarter 1 to help me steward my household. So it's funny how once you start creating different systems, they kind of figure out how to work around each other like Tetris, and they end up affecting each other too. So like I actually developed like 5 systems from this, and I'm going to read them. Okay, so system number one is meal planning the whole week. System number 2 is knowing that I eat out at least twice that week. So there's no like, oh, what do you want to eat for dinner? That's not a conversation for real. Because I know that, so system number 2.5/3 is when we do eat out, it's usually something semi-healthy like Chick-fil-A or Subway or whatever. But if we eat out on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, it's likely to be like Applebee's, where we can kind of just pick where we're at, and I can still get a semi-healthy meal if I feel like it. It gives us more flexibility that way, and I'm not limiting my husband if he wants to like throw down on fried chicken or something. Or we might order pizza or get Chinese food. So this menu system was really great for stewardship with our household, but it also helped me stay on track with my fitness goals. System number 4 was juicing on the days that we eat out because there's no dishes that day. And then system number 5 was filling the dishwasher at night after dinner and then emptying in the morning after I first wake up, which goes into the days that I cook and the days that I don't. So these are all like, if I say I have 5 systems just to you on a regular like generic statement, it sounds like a lot. But in real life, those are systems that help me function and, show up how I need to as a wife and a mom, and then show up for myself how I need to without really sacrificing anything. It's really just an operational standard. It's like if I was a business, this would be in the daily operations handbook. Okay, so to conclude this video and recap everything we've talked about, make sure you're being honest with yourself about your current capacity and your time allotments. And then remember that productivity is, I had enough time and space to do 5 items, 3 of what I had to do and 2 of what I wanted to do, and I fit them into times that made sense. And I made sure that I had the right capacity to get them done, right? Like, productivity is not what we have been telling ourselves it is. Let that old version go. Think about your environment. Think about, have you physically created the space to live the life that you say you want to live? Do you have the tools that you need to do the things you say you want to do? And are you using items and tools that will actually help you get this stuff done? Make sure you're setting boundaries and utilizing social time to where it will benefit you and not deter you. And then lastly, create your system. Create your system based on what you have learned from your data. And that means giving yourself time to collect data, trial and error. It took me all of Q1 to figure out like, okay, if I don't do this workout before 10, it's not happening. Did I talk bad about myself and get upset? No, because I tried and I simply wanted to see how I would get this done. What felt good to me? What felt like me? What felt like something I could get done? And so I realized like, okay, you're gonna have to work out with your kid. You can't work out when your husband's home, and you don't want to work out past 10 anyway. And so my system was right before nap time. If you're not ready to work out by 9:30, it ain't happening. And then from maybe about 9:30 to 11, 10 to 11, somewhere in there. Some days it is 11 to 12 because of the weather, whatever. I already know my system for how I'm going to get my workout done. So I just pick which day it's going to happen. Like, give yourself time to collect the data, set up times to analyze the data and figure out why this is the way it is. Why does your data look like that? And then troubleshoot. See what works, see what doesn't, and make your decisions next week from there. I really, really hope that this video helps some of y'all create some really dope personal routines, whether it's self-care, whether it's stewardship, whatever is important to you at the time. just be nice to yourselves and understand that it's a process, and understand that it's going to change in a couple of months anyway. So you might as well embrace fluidity, embrace adversity, embrace pivoting, right? Embrace it. And I guarantee you guys will find beauty in the journey more than the outcome. This is your girl D, the Wellness Plug, and I will see you for another wellness video later. Bye, guys.